Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. So first of all, apologies that I've not done one of these in about a week, but obviously I've been doing my mocks recently, which I said, so I've not had the chance to make any videos. So we're starting things off by, obviously as you saw there, sending Josh Sampson out on loan, and we get an email there saying Bailey Wright will actually be on international duty, so we will miss him for a couple of matches. So here are the fixtures that we have this month for September. I'm going to try and make these videos a bit more regular now that I have all my mocks out of the way. So we have MK Dons, Cardiff, Nottingham Forest, Derby and Rotherham all to look forward to this month. But we are starting today's episode off with a League Cup game against Walsall. So this is the team I decided to go for. As you can see, I decided to play a couple of fringe players as it's not really a priority, but we start off very brightly indeed with Alan Brown, who, Alan Brown definitely a player I'm looking to get into the first team this season, and he starts off and just puts his attempt wide there. And him and Brownhill, obviously I've got Brownhill out on loan at the moment, but them two I could definitely see them forcing their way into the first team this season if they are consistent enough. And we just kept persisting with our chances really. Chris Humphrey does very well down the wing, whips in the ball, and Andy Little somehow, I don't know how, but he somehow didn't manage to finish that off. And penultimately, for missing all those chances, we did end up actually paying a price when this ball came in. And just how Stuckman didn't win that ball in the air then, I have no idea. This is a 6'6" goalkeeper we're talking about, and he just flapped, and somehow this player outjumped him. Look at that. He's just got absolutely dominated by a striker who I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure he won't be 6'6", and that meant that we were 1-0 down in the League Cup. And obviously I wasn't prioritising the League Cup this season, but I'd like to have a little bit of a run in it to give the fringe players a chance. But we bounced back fantastically here with Andy Little, who finds Chris Humphrey, who finds the back of the net. And that's what it's all about. Chris Humphrey, who is looking to be a player that, wants to be amongst the goals this season and definitely wants to contribute. And it was a fantastic goal in the end. Kellett did well there, and then Little fed him in. And it was, Chris Humphrey found himself in a fantastic position there. Onside, he'd beaten their defence, and he just rifles it into the top corner expertly there. And it was 1-1, and that meant we were straight back into this game. And it did mean that we had, we still had 20 minutes or so to go. So this is what happened then. They come straight back at us, and somehow we didn't manage to put a tackle in there. We had about 5 men on him, but Stuckman makes a good save, and then they fluff their lines and put it wide just there. And, we were getting a bit lucky with some of these chances that they were missing, but, that's what happens when you play against these sort of sides lower league. But then what a ball from Chris Humphrey that was. And Jordan Hugill in the 87th minute finishes it fantastically and puts it into the bottom corner. But the thing that I was most impressed by this was the Chris Humphrey through ball. Chris Humphrey is definitely not a player known for his ability to spread a long range pass like that, but it was absolutely inch perfect, and the finish from Hugill was absolutely fantastic. I believe that that's Hugill's second of the season now, so Hugill has done very well, and especially in the League Cup. And yeah, as you saw there, 2 goals in the League Cup, so he's a player I'm definitely going to be thinking about playing. And then I did decide to bring Pogba on, who almost gets his first goal for the club. He just hits the post there. Very unlucky not to back his first goal, and very unfortunate. And then in the last minute, Pogba gets another chance, but it just goes wide, and that was how that one would finish. So victory, a 2-1 victory in our first match was fantastic. Unfortunately, Pogba didn't manage to get a goal on his debut, but, all that matters really was that we played well and we get through to the next round, and that's just what we managed to do there. So going into the next game, guys, I decided to go for a 4-1-2-1-2 formation, and as you can see here, Bailey Wright actually can't play because he's still on international duty, which is a bit unfortunate for us. So we decided to go for a 4 at the back formation and put Flint and Clark as the 2 centre-backs, and we have the lethal partnership up front of Beckford and Garner. And we really do need them to score this game because we need to bounce back and we need to get all 3 points, as this was definitely a game I was looking to get 3 points from. So Beckford sent on his way early in the match, and he has a fantastic chance, but the goalkeeper does make a good save, and then we fail to follow up with any rebounds of the sort, and they manage to clear. Then we come back at them in the 19th minute here with Beckford. Beckford does well to feed in Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson, who played very well in this match in the attacking mid roll, feeds it into Garner, but the goalkeeper makes a fantastic save to deny him, and Joe Garner actually did really well here to sort of get back on himself and flick the header forward, and it almost managed to loop over the goalkeeper, and unfortunately it didn't manage to go in the end. We're still in the 20th minute, and Pringle whips in a corner here, but they managed to clear easily, and we don't manage to follow it in. And then the next highlight actually comes in the 75th minute here, as Gallagher is on the ball, does well I brought him on as the attacking mid here. He does very well, feeds in Beckford. Beckford gets a chance, but the goalkeeper makes a fantastic save from Beckford's attempt. And honestly, apart from that, not much else happened in this match. It was a fantastic save from the goalkeeper, and unfortunately that Beckford didn't score, but we really do need to be more clinical with those chances. You know, you've seen us have 3 good chances in this game, and that is how that match finished. It finished 0-0, simply for the fact that we just couldn't finish our chances, which was a huge frustration, as we have one of the best strike partnerships in the Championship this year in career mode, which is really unfortunate. So we'll look to bounce back next. So going into our next game, we do come up against Cardiff, and I decide to stick with the 4-1-2-1-2 formation, but I do decide to drop Beckford to the bench and Johnson and bring in Pogba and Gallagher, and I also decide to put Seaborn in the team and put Tom Clark at right back. And we start off very brightly here with Paul Gallagher having a chance, but just dragging his shot wide, and it's what I've been talking about all episode, but we do need to become more clinical with all these chances, because we've been creating them, which is fantastic, but we've just not been able to finish them. Then Cardiff comes straight back at us here. Peter Whittingham does very well, gets his shot away, but it does cannon back off the post, and it manages to go wide in the end. So got a bit lucky with that, I must admit, but, you know, defending wise, we've not been too bad this season. It's just, you know, having that final clinical edge going forward that we've liked. But this was a fantastic move here. Garner managed to get the ball in for Beckford, and what a header that was from Beckford, a diving header. Fantastic link-up play, and honestly, in my eyes, it did deserve a goal. I decided to bring Beckford on in the second half, as you can see, but in my eyes, that deserved a goal. It was a fantastic link-up from Garner and Beckford, and it deserved something from that, but nothing in the end came of it. And then the cross from Chris Humphrey here is easily collected by the goalkeeper, and I don't know why I put him on corners, but then Chris Humphrey here comes forward into John Wells. Beckford manages to get his shot away. It's blocked, and then he gets another shot away, but the goalkeeper saves it. I do remember playing Cardiff in one of the early episodes in the League Cup, and they managed to put up a fight there. They defended very well, and their keeper was very hard to get past. And we come up with another chance here. Daniel Johnson feeds Beckford. Beckford finds Welsh, and what a shot that was. They somehow managed to scramble it away. And it was another fantastic opportunity in the 90th minute as well. And I'm going to show you the entirety of this clip. As you can see, we have players forward here, and we're going for it, okay? This is what we want. We're going for it. We're on the attack. You're thinking nothing bad can go wrong here. Johnson plays a pole ball in, and then suddenly we're on the back foot. They've got players flooding forward for them. It's a 2v2 here. We managed to get another player back, and we somehow, Flint does well there. He manages to push their player out. You're thinking, alright, we've done alright. We got players back now. But no, somehow this happens, and then at the back post, Maynard, what even was that? In the 90th minute, you saw we were flooding them in the earlier stages of this. We had flown players forward in the 90th minute prior to this, as you saw by that clip, but it was just one poor ball from Daniel Johnson that led to this, and it's not Johnson's fault for the goal. I'm not blaming it on him. Look at the ball coming in here. No one was marking Nicky Maynard there, and honestly, I've got to blame that on Scott Laird, the left back, who just wasn't in position, and Sam Johnson could do nothing about that. He finished it well there into the bottom corner, and it's just very frustrating, as Cardiff were the one thing that we weren't today, and honestly, that was clinical. And after that, we just couldn't get back into the game. There was no time left, and the full-time whistle did go, and that is how that match ended, so cruelly. To concede it in the 90th minute, it just shows. It's not just that match as well. It's not just the fact we lost that match. It's the fact we didn't beat MK Dons by not putting away our chances, which was just incredibly frustrating, and it meant that we would miss out on points, and that we would actually, perhaps miss out on our goals at the end of the season if we don't get Beckford and Garner firing on all cylinders once again. So it did finish 1-0, which was hugely frustrating for me. But on a positive note, before beating Walsall in the first game of this episode in the League Cup, our next game in the Cup will be against Tottenham, which is an absolutely fantastic draw for us, away from home as well. So in the next episode, you guys have got that to look forward to. I'm already looking forward to it, playing Spurs. Let me know in the comments down below if you think we have to actually stand a chance against Tottenham. So this is the league table. As you can see, we are currently in 13th, which it's not bad considering we did go up this season. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but that will wrap it up for this video, guys. So thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, and if you are new around here, make sure you subscribe. Comment down below if you think we have a chance of beating Spurs. But other than that, I will see you all in the next one.
Here comes the music.
Boom, 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 boom. I'll shoot you right down. Boom, 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 boom. Ow, 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 ow. Boom, 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 boom. I'll shoot you right down. Boom, 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 boom.